Hello, everybody. Good evening. The second day of the 2024 NFL Draft has just concluded. We are through exactly 100 picks. The Washington Commanders just took us home with the Luke McCaffrey pick, which was a pretty fun way to end the second day of the draft, I would say. So pretty happy about that, and I'm pretty happy about how this day went for the Seattle Seahawks on a few different levels. So we had to sit there a long time waiting for the Seahawks to have a pick come up, and obviously a lot of our top players came off the board, and there were some picks that hurt. Junior Colson hurt a little bit. I would also say that Cooper Beebe hurt a little bit. There were some guys that came off the board that I was feeling just a little bit. But overall, I think that the board did a phenomenal job of falling the way the Seahawks needed it to fall to feel good about what they would be able to do when their pick came up. And when it finally came up at 81, the Seahawks didn't trade up, they didn't trade down. There was so much going on that I thought would work, that would make me happy, that I was very open minded going into that pick. And I was not let down at all. I was very happy with the choice that the team ended up making. They selected Christian Haynes, right guard as of right now. He may end up being a left guard. He may end up being, for all I know, a center in this league. I don't know exactly where he's going to end up in the NFL, but wherever he ends up, I believe that he's going to be a very good player, and ultimately that's what matters. Not only is he a really good player, he had a phenomenal career at UConn with the Huskies. He was a great player for them for an extended period of time, 4-year starter. Not only was he a great player, not only is he bringing a lot of credentials to the NFL, he is also bringing into the NFL a great scheme fit for what this Seattle Seahawks offense should be looking for. A tremendous athlete. If you put him at right guard, there will not be very many better athletes at the position in the entire league. And he has the athleticism to probably play at left guard too if you want to. He's going to be able to play in space. He's going to be able to play pulling from one side of the line to the other. He's going to be able to do those things because we saw him do it at UConn. It's not just, oh, he's fast and he's quick and he's athletic and he's a little undersized. No, it's we saw him do it. So personally, I think this is about as good as you could hope for in the middle of the third round. I had an early third round grade on Christian Haynes. He fills, to me, a need. I understand that Anthony Bradford is here, but Bradford didn't play that well last year, so I'm not thinking about that. And when you include the possibility of him maybe moving positions, maybe playing left guard, I give the pick an A. I think the pick is fantastic. I think that the pick is, maybe it wasn't my number one thing on the board at that exact particular moment, but it was up there. He was on my big board at the moment that we made that pick. He was on screen for me. He was one of the, in my opinion, 8 best players remaining. And you can't really go too wrong when you're picking a player that high up on your board. So, yeah, I was very, very happy with the pick. Other than that, we basically just sat and watched other teams make selections, just kind of judging who we thought did good, who we thought did bad. Division rivals, I thought, were a mixed bag. I thought the Rams really, really overshot when they traded up to get Braden Fisk. But then the Rams also did some other stuff that I thought was pretty good, like getting Cameron Kinchens at the end of day 2. I thought the Cardinals, they obviously had a lot of picks, so they were able to do a lot of positive things. I thought the Cardinals were able to do some nice things as well. I think the Niners did a decent job bouncing back from yesterday's disaster and ended up with some good things. They got Dominic Pooney, who was a guy who I was really starting to gravitate towards as the draft season wore down. And I would say that we're looking at some challenges in this division coming up. Some of these guys are going to be pretty good. I think some of them are going to be really good. And while I can say that I don't think any team in our division is doing amazing, except maybe I would say Arizona. And Arizona, their job is easy because they have so many picks. So I'm not unhappy with where things sit right now. So I'm feeling good about our situation right now. I think that as long as there's a workable solution at left guard on this team, be it Christian Haynes or Anthony Bradford, I don't consider Tomlinson to be a workable solution because he's not a scheme fit and hasn't been good for 2 years. But as long as there's something going on here at left guard that theoretically works, I'm feeling pretty empowered to kind of go BPA with these last several picks that we have. And we do have 5 picks tomorrow. Now, I've said before that this is a relatively shallow draft, and it is, but I am very surprised at some of the players that are being left on the board going into day 3, while some players that I didn't think much of went very highly. Guys like Elijah Jones and Jarian Jones going ahead of TJ Tampa is mind-boggling to me. Guys like Cedric Van Pran being left on the board still. Guys like Jatavion Sanders still being on the board. It blows my mind. And just right off the bat, the Seahawks pick second tomorrow. They pick 102nd, with 101st being the first pick that goes tomorrow from the Carolina Panthers. There's an opportunity here to get a guy who I consider to be a top 50 pick, a clear second rounder. You've got still Jatavion Sanders, you've got Cedric Van Pran, you've got TJ Tampa. If we want one of those 3 players, or, well, I should say 2 of those players, we are guaranteed to have access to at least one of them when our pick comes up. And there are plenty of guys beyond that who I'm high on, who I thought would be gone by now. Guys like Kyrie Jackson, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Cade Stover, Cedric Gray, even a guy like Mason McCormick. There's plenty going on here that I think could work. So I'm feeling fairly good about things. I have said before that I consider this to be a fairly shallow draft, but it doesn't have to be shallow for us, or at the very least, it doesn't have to be shallow for me personally, because I'm sitting here looking at what's available, and I'm thinking to myself, I think there's going to be something good we can pull out even in like the 6th round if this keeps up. Now, at some point, there's going to be a run on these guys that I value more than the league does. At some point, somebody's going to go, wait a minute, Jatavion Sanders is way too athletic to still be here in the 4th round. I don't think he's going to make it to the 6th, but this is just going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And guys are going to slip through the cracks. It happens every year. I'm not terribly surprised about it. And while it's not surprising to me that a few guys slip through, it's always shocking to me what the league allows to happen in terms of like Cedric Van Pran. How is that guy not going in the top 100 picks? How is a guy like Jatavion Sanders not going in the top 100? And there's an opportunity here for the Seahawks to, I think, land a massive steal right off the bat tomorrow. They have 1 pick early, very early, and then they have another pick coming up not too long after that at 118. So I'm pretty optimistic about where things are right now. I think the draft is off to a very good start. It's not exactly what I would have done, but I think what we've done is quite good. I think what we've done works very well to make this team better going into 2024. And while I was aware of the fact that day 3 was going to be a little bit of a bore fest compared to the first 2 days, if things keep up, maybe that's not the case. Maybe, just maybe, there's going to be some special stuff we can uncover here. So, great stream. We definitely peaked when our pick was up. We had like 1,300 viewers in here at one point, which was similar to yesterday. Throughout the day, we had 500, 600 people. As our pick was starting to come time, we got up to like 700, 800. It crept up and crept up and crept up. So you are a great audience, very supportive, very, very fun to entertain throughout the day. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, get this video up, and get ready for the Hawks Nest stream tonight. So yeah, Seahawks, great job today.